modern homemaker enters the world of tomorrow with the press of a button. A dream that comes true in Frigidaire's famous Kitchen of Tomorrow, being shown in the GM Motorama of 1956. Even the man of the house is attracted to the futuristic room. Nearly everything is done by electronics and ultrasonics. When this young housewife jots down a grocery item, it's immediately transmitted to the store by a telescriber built right into the planning desk. All the modern marvels in this new experimental kitchen operate like magic. The range cooks without getting hot. Dishes are washed with sound waves. Recipes are measured and mixed automatically. It's almost a fairyland for the fair sex.
What? Pause it there.
You didn't like that, huh?
A fairyland for the fair sex?
Yeah. All right, so our point of view has changed since the 50s. But did you hear the thing about the transcriber? Now, that's something you can call in over your computer, order up your groceries, they'll deliver them to your house.
Oh, do you know what, though? That's a feature that got discontinued, I think. I read it in an article.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't hear about that.
See if I can find it. Yeah, apparently there wasn't enough interest to keep it profitable. Here it is, yeah. Grocery shopping service has been dropped because of a lack of interest. So, they're right, it's available, but just because it's technically feasible doesn't always mean that people are going to catch fire to the idea.
You know, that's a good point. In fact, that's something we should be watching out for when we put stuff in House of the Future, you know. Say, listen to this one.
Operate like magic. The range cooks without getting hot. Dishes
the range cooks without getting hot. Now, it sounds just like a microwave.
You're right.
Weren't too far off the mark on that one.
Huh.
It's almost a fairyland for the fair sex. A motorized serving cart can be moved by remote control. The refrigerator and cabinets of the future rotate from the inside to the outside of the house so delivery men can keep them well stocked.
Jell-O?
These and the many other automatic
the Jell-O delivery man
are designed to make the kitchen a pleasurable work center. Yes, it's a little baffling to wash dishes with sound waves in only 3 minutes. But in this age, better not to reason why, be also thankful that they're dry. And that's a cook's tour of the Kitchen of Tomorrow, star of Motorama.
You know, it's tempting to laugh at that video, but they're right on a couple of points.
Oh, I've heard they're actually marketing an ultrasonic dishwasher in Japan.
You're kidding.
It does one dish at a time, and I think it takes like 4 minutes to do each dish or something.
Wow, well, you know, that just goes to show you. Well, hello. Welcome to Hometime. I'm JoAnne Liebeler.
Yeah, I can't remember where I got that from. I'm Dean Johnson. We're just in the process of doing a lot of research for a house we're building that we're calling Home of the Future. During the next 5 episodes, we're going to build a house that we feel will be representative of what you might see in the 21st century.
Yeah, that way in 40 years, people will be able to watch our program and then laugh at what we thought the future would be.
Well, hopefully not. But at any rate, if you're interested in seeing some of our predictions, stick around. So you want to watch that tape about panelized housing?
Sure. You want the one with the foam walls or
Well,
with the cardboard honeycomb walls?
Hometime is made possible by Chevrolet Motor Division, who brings you compact pickups and other trucks for personal and business use. Today's truck is Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America. And brought to you by the Stanley Works of New Britain, Connecticut. For generations, Stanley's been committed to building quality tools and other products to help you do things right.
Yeah, they working on the drain tile over there?
Yeah, gonna finish up in a couple hours.
Okay. Well, Heinz said that they'd have the foundation and the garage done here easily by the end of the day.
Well, that's great.
Well, welcome to our home of the future, although it doesn't look real futuristic right now.
No, but what goes on top of this foundation ought to be pretty interesting. We're going to spend the next 5 episodes following the construction of this house, looking at new design ideas and some of the innovative products and systems that'll go into it.
But like all construction projects in our part of the country, futuristic or not, it all starts with a great big fat hole in the ground for the foundation, which isn't real high-tech, if you know what I mean.
No, and our home of the future isn't going to look like something out of Star Wars either. What we're going to try to do is guess at what the typical move-up home might look like in 20 or 30 years.
And we want to be fairly realistic about this. I mean, it's easy to let your imagination run wild, but the truth of the matter is things change pretty slowly in the home construction business.
Right. If you compare how homes were built 30 years ago to how they're being built today, there isn't that much of a difference.
At the same time, you can take a look at something like microwave ovens. 20 years ago, they were a novelty, whereas today you can find them in most homes.
Well, the same could be said of VCRs. I think it's, what, 3/4 of the population now have them in their family rooms?
Well, the family room's another thing. It used to be there was a living room upstairs, and then the rec room was relegated to the basement. Well, that rec room has evolved into a family room. It's probably located next to a kitchen. And I'll bet you spend more time in the family room than you do any other room in your house.
In other words, change does happen in home construction. It just doesn't happen very quickly, and sometimes in directions that you can't predict.
Well, here's what we've got so far. We've been working on the project for about a year. An architect that we've done a lot of work with, Jack Bloodgood, was asked by Newsweek magazine to draw up what he thinks a typical home of the 21st century will look like.
When the article came out, there were a lot of calls from people who were interested in building the house. And that kind of got us thinking that maybe we should build the house now as kind of an experiment. So we've gotten a team together composed of the architects, Hometime, and Better Homes and Gardens magazine. We all brainstormed a little bit and came up with a version of the house that could be built today.
Part of our research was to see what new products and technologies are being developed now and that might be available soon.
So we went to a house where a lot of these items are on display. This house here in western Massachusetts is called the Living Environments Concept House, and it's been put together by the Plastics Division of General Electric with the support of about 55 other manufacturers. Nobody actually lives in the house. It's used for the research and marketing of advanced housing systems and products, sort of a living laboratory. One of the largest markets for plastic products in the past has been the automotive industry. What this project proves is that there's tremendous potential for plastic products in home construction. For instance, take a look at the roofing. It looks like weathered cedar shingles, but it's actually a molded plastic product. The shingles come in 2x4 sheets, so installation is quicker than with individual shingles or shakes. And the material resists fire, rot, and insects. Using non-wood materials is a trend we see happening. Clear old-growth wood is getting scarcer, and we should be finding alternatives. In the future, we may find that real wood is only used for decorative touches, such as the hardwood floor in this entryway. The house features a prototype plastic baseboard unit. This is more than just decorative. It's a raceway. It houses wiring for video, audio, electricity, telephones, lighting controls, and automation. Automation is a showcase element of this house, and the designers have made it pretty sophisticated. Voice command.
Good afternoon.
Privacy mode.
The blinds are now closed.
Evening party.
The evening party lighting mood is now set.
Thank you.
The normal day lighting mood is now set.
The house is almost like a supermarket for advanced products. The kitchen cabinets are available now, but they're on the cutting edge in terms of their style and their layout. For instance, the refrigerator is built right into the cabinetry, and that creates more of a seamless look. Now, the countertop over here is a concrete product, but it incorporates plastic aggregate that's been recycled. And therefore, you've got more color choices than you would with natural stone. This material is used here, on the sidewalks outside, and on the basement floor. Now, the house's control system can all be operated from this computer here in the kitchen. All sorts of systems can be run from here. Well, let's see what security management is all about. ARM system, enable zone, security log, video monitor. Well, let's see if there's anyone at the front door. Oop, coast is clear, no salesman. You know what's nice about this system is that it's real easy to understand. Home automation is only going to catch on if it's very user-friendly. Here's a feature that's just recently become available. Now, suppose you want a little privacy in this room, or maybe the sun coming through the windows is just a little too bright. Rather than pull down a blind, there's a liquid crystal polyester film that's sandwiched between the plastic window panes. So you can switch from translucent to clear with an electrical charge. Advanced plastics are integrated into building systems throughout the house, from a toilet with a host of electronic features to tubs and showers where plastic replaces fiberglass or metal. A plastic floor system creates small channels, and the plumbing lines, which are plastic of course, run through these. The house is actually about 30% plastic materials. The framing for the most part is traditional, using dimensional lumber. However, the designers have put together a display which shows how wood studs might evolve into something different. First, ordinary 2x4s might be replaced with a combination product like this, a laminated wood flange with a solid foam core. This would shrink and swell less than regular lumber. It's possible that we'll someday see solid plastic studs. We're also probably going to see more plastic products for insulation, sheathing, and interior finishing. Even our foundation walls might evolve from regular concrete in new plastic forms to insulating plastic forms that are left in place to complete plastic foundations with internal insulation and rigid plastic structural elements. As advanced materials become more common, we'll probably see factories like this, where panels for walls, floors, and roofs are created on an assembly line under carefully controlled conditions. This will make the technologies cost-efficient, and it'll mean higher quality and precision than the present, where walls and floors are hand-built at the job site in all sorts of weather conditions. The panels will then be shipped to the house finishing factory, and here they'll be customized for each individual house and shipped out. Well, that's the plan anyway. Now, the innovative concepts and products in this house are in different stages of development. Some are available now, some are advanced prototypes, and some have a long way to go before we'll see them in our own homes. And it's tempting to focus on the high-tech features of this house, but really, it's a lot more than that. It's a unique collaboration between a lot of companies. The house was designed to develop new products and to market them to the public and to the home construction industry. So that house is an example of what manufacturers are doing to try to change the way we build our houses.
We also have to think a little bit about what planners are doing to change the ways in which we build our neighborhoods, and that's due to quite a few different factors. Well, for instance, land's continuing to become more expensive. The trend is towards smaller lots, and that's certainly going to continue.
The traditional layout of a suburban development might be changing too, especially as cars get more expensive to operate and the roads get more and more clogged with traffic. In 20 or 30 years, not only will the houses look different, but the suburban developments will look different too.
And some of these trends in town planning and layout are already becoming evident in a place we'd like to show you, Seaside, Florida.